Welcome back. In this video I'm going to show how to create a Ubuntu operating system instance. I have already logged in my account and I can open the AC2, the service, or if it doesn't show in your screen, in your console home, you go to services and is AC2. I can go to the instances here, and I have already created some instances before, and they are in a different operating system. They are in a status of stopped. Now I'm just going to launch a new instance. I'm going to create a name, Ubuntu Mac, since I'm working in Mac operating system. I'm going to go to choose the operating system, and I'm going to select the free trial only, and I'm going to use the Ubuntu selected, and now I have the name of the instance. I have selected operating system images and the instance type. We're going to use micro since this is available for our area, and depend on your requirement of your project or depend on the requirement of your homework, you can choose even other options, but since it is free, I choose the T2 micro. Then I go down, and here it is very important, the key pair. This is gonna allow you to log in or to provision your account. I have already created a key, but here I'm gonna create a new one. So I'm gonna name it Ubuntu Mac, and I'm gonna use with putty. There are two different key pairs that you can use in provisioning the instances. Is the PEM and also is PP key that requires putty. I'm gonna use the PP key. I'm gonna create it, and it is already downloaded and is in my downloads, the files that I'm gonna use lately to provision my instance. I'm gonna leave defaults and network since I don't have any specific requirement. And here I have the security group. This is very important actually. You can create a new security group and automatically it's gonna create a security group, and it's gonna give even a name. It is very important to allow the SSH traffic from anywhere. If you don't allow the SSH and you don't click this option and you don't leave anywhere, if you leave a specific IP, then you might have problems to log in. So recommendation is to leave anywhere. And then you can click HTTPS and HTTP, depend on what kind of project or for what reasons you are creating your instance. Just make sure that you give as less permissions as you can, just for security reasons, to your instance. But since this instance later I can use for different to create different kind of web server, I can click the HTTPS and HTTP. Then I'm going to leave a default storage and launch it. It's going to take some time for the instance. We go here, and as you can see, my instance is in pending status, is still building and doing the necessary configuration. When you click the instance, you still have some kind of basic information that has the public IP, the public DNS, and also some kind of information that later you can use to provision it. So here is the security. and is a group here, and it shows what kind of inbound rules you have already allowed in this instance. And you have HTTP, SSH, and HTTPS. So we go back to AC2, the running status, and it's still, our instance is still in an initialization form, even though it says running, it's still in initialization, and it requires some time until your instance is fully running. Make ready. Here you can have even more information about your instance, and in this action section here, when you when you have already created the instance and you have clicked the instance that you want to do some actions in it, and you go to instance state, you can stop it, you can reboot the instance or terminate the instance. When you stop it, it changed the status from starting to stop, and everything that is installed and every kind of configuration and the instance itself is in a stop status, so it won't work. But it's different from terminate. Terminate means that your instance is deleted already and it's no longer available in AWS in your account. But the stop status, it means that your instance is available, the configurations are there, it's just not running, and it's not available to run or to access it. So to reboot it is just a restart of the instance, and when your instance is in a stop mode, then the start becomes clickable and you can change from stop to start status. So it is still under initialization. And is still under initialization, which means that the instance is not fully running. There are still some files that they are in initialization form, and if you try to do any provisioning or any connection with this instance in this status, it's not gonna be successfully performed because the instance is not fully running. So now the instance is ready. As you can see, it is changed from initialization, and you can try to connect. Let's wait for let's go back again. We click it. We click here. We go to connect. And here we have a public IP, the username of the Ubuntu instances that you create. Usually, and in the most of the time, the default username that is created is Ubuntu. So you try to connect it. And as you can see, this is a connection through the browser. So you are still inside your account in AWS, and provides you an option to connect with your instance and to operate through your instance. So you can normally run and provision your instance through your account in AWS. So this is running now, and also in the other video I'm going to show how to provision your instance through putty or through other form. And I hope it was helpful, and let me know if there is any problem that you might need for help.